Attention, attention, attention. This is the TownNet B of the day. I am your net controller, TNet number 9, Yankee Uniform Echo. If you're around and would like to check in, please come in with your call sign phonetically. Reminder to all that the net is recorded for training purposes. You may begin. Check in, check in, check in. Anyone want to check in? Check in, check in, check in, check in. Okay, I saw Cap NK. Anyone else want to check in? Check in.
Kenya number 4 Echo India.
Okay, I also got Cheng on the list. So Gap, Gate, Lei, and Cheng. Anyone else? Come in, come in.
Ticket number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Yacht number 2, Gulf Echo India.
Okay, yeah, I got you guys. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, this is official call out, 4:30 p.m. TownNet B. Anyone want to check in? Please come now. Okay, we will begin. But before I start, let's try another one. Final call out. Let's see if Sung is around.
Testing, testing. Unit number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf.
Sung, you're in the wrong room. Sung, you're in the wrong room.
Unit number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf. Yeah, I just realized, sorry, Sudran, I've just put Zello, I've just got a new sign working, so I've been adding apps and things, so I just got the new Zello account working, and I just transferred it, and I signed into the Sam Law one. Sorry about that. Back to you. Unit number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf.
You guys are sorrying so often, man. You don't have to sorry me if you're not like giving me anything that you don't mean to. So it's fine. Okay? Don't sorry all the time. Okay, so let's begin. This morning, Net A, we talked about a lot of stuff. So if we have to repeat everything, it will be quite hectic. So, um, let's do a little review then. Okay, we have a diagram online, and you can always look at that again. So there are four things. In the middle, you have a circle, a square, a circle, and a square. Okay, so the circle on top is the Yun Sun. And then you have the ghost altar. And then you have the heart. And then you have X. The X is like what you will be doing later. So the Yun Sun and ghost altar and everything is connected by a line in the middle. Okay? So the Yun Sun has essence, which we call the Jing. Now there's a line going out from the Yun Sun to the ghost altar. And that line is like arrow going down. It goes to the right side of the diagram. And this is like saying the Yun Sun convert or refine the Jing into Qi. And then in the ghost altar, it goes down to turns the Qi into the Sun, which is the God in the heart. And your heart uses the God to the X, which is whatever you're doing. It uses the God. And the God go out to the X, and then it comes back when it's done. So when it comes back, we say from the X to the heart. It's the returning of the God. It returns home. And during this time, the blood is being replenished into the heart. So you got more blood juice. And then when you go from the heart and up to the ghost altar, you're replenishing the Qi, because the blood is being sent up and being converted to Qi. The ghost altar then sends it back up to the Yun Sun. It converts the Qi back into essence. And the essence is then taken down again on the other side, and the whole loop just keep going like that. That is a very basic concept of how our system works and how the cycle works. Whenever you're doing something on the X, which means you're using your God, like you put your heart into something, right? It will draw or drain the blood from the heart to keep powering the God. So as long as the God is there, alive and active, it will keep juicing up your heart juice, which is the blood. What moves the blood is the Qi. So the Qi is like wind, right? So it pushes the blood forward. If you run out of Qi, or the Qi is weak, then there's not enough blood flowing forward. Then it's like you have a demand, but the supply is not fast enough, and you'll run into problem. If you have like too much blood, it will also have a problem. So the Qi has to be like at a certain state where it's enough, okay? Then it will supply the blood to the God, which allows it to keep going. Once your heart decided that I don't want to do this anymore, I give up, right? Then your blood, your God will become like a dead God. It dies. When it dies, everything inside becomes inactive. It's like nothing's moving, right? So it returns back home, and then it becomes an inactive state, which becomes a blood. And that is the kind of blood. So it's not the physical red juice that you can like see coming out of your body. Not that kind of blood, okay? So anyway, let's move on. TN number 2, Golf Alpha Papa.
Tinyan number 2, Golf Alpha Papa. Yep, that's just kind of still absorbing all that information and making me think about. It makes a lot of sense of the things that went on in the past. As far as not to think too much about the past, but just understanding what was really going on there. Like when you have passion for a thing, and then you're building skill toward it or making progress with it, and then when that passion dies, like what happens. I feel like I remember you mentioning that this is also where yeep can happen, if the desire isn't fulfilled, and it's like that believe, is it that God then just kind of gets seeped up on its way, or it doesn't actually make it back until it does die, but then the blood that is coming back with it is filled with toxin. I think that's what we, if I recall correctly. This is in reference to here's an example. Let's say somebody has a desire to go to the military for whatever reason. Maybe they desire to like get to a certain rank or whatnot, and then they go and they don't make it. They fail out of boot camp, or they don't actually get to the rank that they want. Then that has a chance of creating toxins for the in their blood, because the god is like yeeped. Is that about right, Sidron? Tinyak number 2, Golf Alpha Pop.
Yes, that is correct. Toxin is like your system is supposed to have some, and it can tolerate up to a certain level before things go wrong. So it's kind of like saying you're hot, right? But it's not like too hot. It's like a summer day, maybe 30 degrees Celsius. It's hot, but it's not like to the point you're like being cooked. But if you like put yourself in an oven, that's hot. And now there's a problem because it's cooking you up, right? Like you're becoming food. That's the problem. So when we have toxin, which is like a part of life, right? The toxin is okay. But when it gets too bad, then you're overloaded, too toxic, then you cannot deal with it. Then it will kind of manifest itself. When you sleep, right? You try to push like things from the yuns and it's pulling your stuff up, right? So when your blood goes through or go to the ghost altar, it will create a lot of like resistant, hectic movement and so on. And because of that, you have nightmare. Okay, so it's kind of like the blood is having a struggle while it's trying to convert. Then it becomes like you will see a visual telling you what happened to the chi, which is nightmare, right? So the movie of your dream, like what you're seeing, and then the feeling that it gives you is basically telling you the status of the chi. So if you like feel, I'm like, it's like you got, maybe like you got scolded or you got framed up, someone betrayed you. You know that feeling where like you feel so, it's like someone just crumbled you up into a ball, right? Like it feels everything coming inward, right? That's how your chi is feeling. So if you take the emotion and you understand what kind of emotion it is based on 5 elements, then that's how your chi is like. Pretty much just like that. Tinyak number 2, Golf Echo India.
Vignette number 2, Gulf Echo India. Now, the more we talk about this, the more sense that it makes. It's a little too easy in English and the Western mindset to hear the word toxin and just immediately assume that you should never have any of it, that any amount of it is just poison and deadly, and if you have it, like something is deeply wrong. But it doesn't sound like that is actually correct. It sounds like it is, maybe more akin to how the Western thought, anyway, considers salt or sugar. Like a little bit of it is good. You need a certain amount of it. It's when you have too much that there are serious issues. Also, the clarification that you made earlier, that these toxins are not things that we can like excrete or purge. We have to dilute them with positively, not positively, but with the good blood, with with the energy essence. I'm sorry, I'm getting all my terms confused and using the wrong ones. We have to create satisfaction of those gods that we are sending out. We need successes to sort of wash out the disappointments and failures. And if I'm understanding correctly, it's also a lot about cutting off previous connection to the endeavors which were failed or disappointing, right? To not number 2, Gulf Echo India.
That is a good point. I actually never thought of the English side, like toxin, because you cannot have any of that. So that is, you might want to jot a note online so that like Ha can listen to the net about this part. Okay, another way to put it, okay, your blood has 2 states. We say the yang and yin state, okay? When it's positive state, like the blood is positive, right? It's active, it's like outward going, it do things, it manifests. That's the kind of blood that you like you push to the god so that the god can keep doing its work, okay? So that's like the what we call is the 精血, right? It's like the essence of blood, okay? So these blood, they are good because they give birth to things. They output, they manifest, they go outward, they exert power. But when the god dies, right, the blood convert from that active state to a non-moving neutral state. And when it comes back into you, it cools and it becomes the negative state of blood. So we call that the yamhut, which is the negative state of blood. This kind of blood, not only that is not moving, it also has a property, which is like it sucks things back inside. It's supposed to be there at a certain level so that when you sleep, right, this kind of blood sucks back the stuff to the ghost altar and pull things back up to the pre-heaven. So it is good, not bad. But when you have too much of that, then it becomes what we call the toxic blood or the poison blood, because it's like too negative now. It's like instead of having cool water, which is pretty cool, you have ice water. Wow, shit, that is like burning, right? Ice is like so cold, too cold. So now instead of like saying it's cool, it's not hot, it's not warm, it's cool, right? It's like a breeze, very cool. Instead of that, if you have cool, it can go back up to the ghost altar. Now you have ice. It's not moving. It's stuck right there. Right? So it's like too cold. So it couldn't really go up because it's frozen. It's like too cold, kind of like that. So that is the problem. Here number 4, Lima, India.
King Yet number 4, Lima Echo India. Yes, Sir John, that's quite fascinating about the toxin and stuff. So, so if you do like something that you're into and you fail at it and it becomes toxin, what happened if you're just not motivated or just don't care about, like, I have a lot of stuff like I gotta do daily, but a lot of it is like I don't really like doing it. Like I just do it, but it's like neutral. Like I'm not like motivated to do, like there's certain things I'm not motivated about. For example, like Uber, I'm not motivated about that either. I just do it because I have to. And the job I got now, I'm like, I don't ever think when I get home, I don't ever think about work. Like I don't think about work like about anything about there. Like I clock out, I'm done. Like the stuff like I'm like it's like I don't know. It's neutral. It's like I'm not like ewing on it, but it's just like I just strictly do it for a paycheck. Like I don't really have any much motivation like for it. Like I just do it just for a paycheck. So does that come in as like bad toxin as well, or or it's like neutral or yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. Tinya number 4, Lima Echo India.
Um, Daytime job, you're not supposed to even come home and think about it. It's supposed to be a trade of your time for the money. That's what it is. It is what it is. Your job is not your passion. So why should you be so hype about it when you go to work? You should not. If you are like those people who are like, oh, I go to work, I'm so high about this company, like I'm dying for it, like you got a problem. Because the thing is, like, they're only paying you for the time you stay, right? They're not paying you more. Why are you doing all that, right? So it's actually a bad virtue if you output too much for that company, and then it becomes like they are paying you the same thing, and you output too much. Problem. So yeah, you're definitely fine with that. The Uber, it is only a problem when you keep ewing while you're doing it. That's a problem because it's like you're generating all that negative crap, and it's going to bomb yourself back. So it's not a good thing to do, and it doesn't help. Like the funny thing is, like you keep doing that, but for what, right? Like what do you actually want? Oh, you want to have like a better luck with investment or some kind of other job or something, right? So does it help by like just ewing, venting your emotions and stuff in the car? No, it doesn't. So why are you doing it, right? It's a waste of your chi to even ew. You're wasting your resources to ew, right? And those resources ew out, like you ew and actually use the chi and the blood to ew, right? You get tired. And then what do you get? Nothing. So what does that translate to? Toxin, right? Because you're like ewing and it doesn't come back with a result. Like, yeah, I ew and then I got a huge change in life. Wow, cool. Like, that's great. But if you ew and nothing is changing, why you? So you have just spent all nothing. That's why there's toxin, and it's not good to do. It's stupid. You should do something that actually helps, something that actually like build and bring changes, right? So instead of wasting your time, your energy, everything for ewing, you should be doing something that actually brings help. But yeah, the daytime job, you're totally fine, like neutral, it's no problem. You're not supposed to have any feeling with it. So there you go. Team number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tenured number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Good day to Sergeant Gijan. Good day to my seniors and my juniors. Sergeant, I don't have much to contribute right now. I feel like everything has already been said by my seniors and my juniors, and so many questions that I was kind of pondering as well has already been asked. And but I did take away from Net A that we need to be very selective on the things that we focus on, because it's an investment. Just like how we're very selective about the money that we spend on materialistic stuff, same way how we have to be very attentive on the things that we pay attention to, we give our God or our chi and blood to. So yeah, back to you. It's in at number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Yeah, earlier I was telling Kai, if you want to fix the toxin problem, right, first stop wasting your resources on things that doesn't grow. And I was talking about his wife. Like, your wife is like hopeless, she's not changing. And you keep like putting hope and effort into that stupid thing is not going to make any change. So the more you do it, the more you feel like you're like a failure because you keep wasting your chi, your blood, everything into that. And then it comes back as toxin. So like no matter what you do, you create a lot every day because you're facing that person every day. That's why we say like, choose your friends or social circle and that like wisely because you don't want to be like wasting your time on like a so-called friend talking to them and all that, like Wing before there was that ex gang, right? Ex gang, right? She was like talking to her all the time, video call time. Is like, wow, you spent a lot of resources on this person, and what do you get in return? Nothing, right? So basically, your God is like constantly going back to you and being like a failure. There's like such a toxin just from that person alone by spending the time and video call and all that. It's very scary. So you have to watch what you do with people. TN number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf.
Unit number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf. Yeah, this is fascinating knowledge. In my in my understanding, in my life, I guess I have basically become a bit of mostly a hermit. I don't really have any friends that I care to talk to outside of the lineage, really. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't say sorry. Yeah, I'm a bit. I've become like a bit of a like there's no one that I care to talk to really, like in my life. Like there's one girl who works at when I'm dropping off some rubbish. She works there, and I put her on to watching Dongua. And so she really likes that, and so when I meet her in the supermarket or something, we have a chat, and that's about. But all my other friends, I don't care to talk to because they're just boring, and I can't talk about anything that means anything to me, and there's not really much point, and that happened a while ago actually, because most of them were just like they'd just sit there on bombs, getting high the whole time, and I didn't myself, so I just felt, like I just was, what am I here for? So I'd leave the place and early, and not be rather antisocial. In terms of I was gonna ask a similar question to Lei Hyung, regarding work, because as you were speaking earlier, I was thinking, well, that explains why people say that you should do what you love, because otherwise you're cultivating like this kind of toxic chi in you. But then you said that's not really necessary, and that it's kind of neutral, and that you're not supposed to put too much into it because it's like a bad virtue. And then that made me feel better about my attitude towards my job, which is like I've got the kind of job that gives me the least amount of having to prepare and care and put effort into it, because I just turn up at the school. They give me some photocopies or whatever to hand out to the students, and no one expects much to happen, and I'm just like a babysitter really. Everyone knows what substitute teachers are like. And it's kind of perfect in that sense, because I leave when the bell goes and forget about it. So yeah, you know what? But at the same time, I kind of complain about it. But maybe I should just have a more positive attitude. I mean, generally I'm getting better, but yeah, be positive about it so that you're not brewing up yeep and stuff inside and creating that ice blood. Anyway, back to you, TNet number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf.
Well, work for a lot of you guys who are like just working for others, you're being paid the same no matter what you do because they are based on time, right? So most of them just pay you for X amount of money per, how long hour. So yeah, it's just a trade of your time. So as long as like you finish the time you promise, then you get the money. It's fine. There's nothing about passion, love, and anything. Your success comes from, do you get paid? So if you are paid for 4 hours and you worked 4 hours and you got the money that you deserve, your blood coming back is good because you successfully achieved the goal. That's good. But if you work like 12 hours and you got paid for 4 hours, now your blood coming back is like toxic because you didn't, like, you fail, right? Like you didn't get paid properly. So it's about that. So it is very important to not overwork for people, or you need to charge them for the work properly, like the agreed amount, so that you don't end up being like a failure to yourself. Um, Gifting people extra work is a very bad virtue. Like, he paid me for 4 hours of work. I gave him 5 hours because of, I don't know, I just love doing it. Now you're stupid, right? You're teaching your God to be a loser. You're losing more than you should. So you're wasting your resources like it's free. Now you're it's like, well, you know, you're not cherishing the resources. We're not going to give you that much. So yeah, the mindset needs to be like that. You need to make sure, you're not like the die-hard OT type, right? Like, yeah, OT, sure. Am I paid? Is it on the contract? I'm not going to OT if it's not on the contract or I'm not paid, right? So I don't want to be a loser in life. Very important. Let's move on. Anyone want to check in? Anyone want to check in? Check in. Okay, we move back to the top. Tier number 2, Golf Alpha Papa.
Tinya number 2, Golf Alpha Papa. See, Sidron, this is why I have so much yeepy rage. Why I do wanna lash out at people, cause I feel like I've been that guy. I've been that loser who's given extra work to people just because. In the situation, this this is why. Like, even before you told us about the JC and the Buddhist stuff being evil, it's like I felt really trapped by because those mindsets, there's a lot of the things that they promote that have saturated civilization to where people think that they're being a good person by giving, and that if you're not a giver, then you're actually, a taker, and actually like a parasite. So being in the massage industry for as long as I've been, see, I'm even talking about it, I'm getting a little worked up because I could feel how that's been exploited. How people have been like, oh, well, you're a giver, so you shouldn't have no problem giving, and the work that I've done been extremely undermined. See, so when I talk about wanting to fight, I honestly think that it's yeah, there's the yeep, right? But sometimes I've often wondered if like a part of it is like almost like a rubber band effect. Like I've helped so many people, and like I feel like that's gotten me like almost nowhere, and it's like almost turned to this point where it's like, well, I feel like I could be justified in hurting them. No. I know that doesn't, it's crazy. I know it doesn't match up like that, but yeah, it's yeah, so I've worked myself up now. To number 2, Golf Alpha Papa.
Yeah. Well, you can always say the other way, like, oh, you're a giver, right? You have no problem giving. So you question them. So are you a taker? Why are you like, vampiring me? People just don't see like time is a resource. and they think it's okay, just wasting your time because they have time to waste. Crazy. I saw online just now your pictures. You are wasting a lot of paper, Gap, and the paper is not cheap. Why are you doing that? It's not supposed to be like that. You're scrapped and scrap attempt and practice. Like it's not supposed to be like that. No, 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 no. Okay, you practice on white paper. Okay, or take some newspaper or something and practice, not the yellow paper. You save the yellow paper for the real thing. If you're not ready, you don't write on the yellow paper, right? It's expensive looking at that. Oh my goodness. My yellow paper is only for real for writing. Never practice on that. Okay? Like practice, you take normal paper, practice all you want, or you use the board, right? The LCD board and just draw and erase. Um, yeah. And if you don't think you're ready, why are you writing on it? Like you should practice until you're ready and then you go for the real one, right? So your way of using the paper is like, oh my goodness, palm. You're supposed to be on budget mode. Why are you? You could have like, buy some more papers or some more tools already with that money. Tier number two, Golf Echo India.
Ticket number two, Gulf Echo India. Yeah, thankfully we're still using the cheap yellow printer paper because we haven't got the good foo paper yet. Otherwise, that would be a travesty. Um, yeah. Oh my gosh. So I feel like I have a little less yeep built up around work output than most people. Just because I got really used to being called selfish and lazy or whatever, because I would not give more than was required of me, with the exception being for my ex-family. Um, like I know I built up a lot of blood toxin that way, giving way more than I got back. But I am curious though, if you're not working for someone else, like me with the website design, right? If I am uh, working on a website and I have like some really inspired ideas about how I want it to come out, um, and even if it, like, obviously I want to continue to charge appropriately for my time. But let's say that I tell myself I'm going to work on it 4 hours on this day, and because of my personal interest in having this turn out the way that I want, my own motivation and satisfaction around it, is it okay to go 6 hours if I'm feeling that, or is that going to be bad blood? As long as I'm getting paid for the time that I put in appropriately from the client, is that still good or no? Team out number two, Gulf Echo India.
Not really sure how the thing is. Like the client is paying for 6 hours, and how does that work? I'm not sure. Like, can you kind of repeat that one? I'm kind of confused.
Team out number two, Gulf Echo India. So let's say that uh, this client is paying me to build them 3 pages of website. And I know that that is probably going to take me, this many hours, say 10 hours. So I decide to break those up into, manageable pieces of work each day. If I set myself like 4 hours to work on this website on one day, but because of the way that I feel about it, my inspiration, my motivation, I end up going 6 hours on it. I'm still getting paid for those 3 pages of website that I'm building. I've just sort of shifted the amount of work that I am taking on because of my pursuit of my vision regarding it, the satisfaction that I want to get out of it. Is that still good or no? Back to you.
Well, you said it yourself. The success is giving the client what they want, which is the 3 pages of website. So as long as that is the trade, is fine. How you want to manage your work is your issue. So that has nothing to do with the actual success or not. Okay, so you get it? Back to you.
Yeah, I think I get it. So it's not really about uh, the time that is put in. It's about making sure that the trade is actually fair, and you're not just being like guilted and gaslit into doing more than was in your job description. Is that more accurate? Tina, number 2, Gulf Echo India.
Yeah, exactly. Being fair, right? So you're a loser if you lose, meaning like you put something that you're not supposed to and you keep losing. But if it's fair, it means that, yeah, we agree on this trade and you get what you want. I'll put what I want, right? It's good. No problem. So there we go. Ticket number 4, Lima Echo India. Ticket number 4, Lima Echo India.
Vignette number 4, Lima Echo India. Yeah, it's quite interesting about the toxin and the stuff and how we should yeah, like Sajan said, like the stuff about work, like at work, like yeah, like how much time we get paid for equals the amount like it comes back as like I guess an okay toxic okay thing. Yeah. I guess for me I guess the toxin that I created at that workplace, the day job, is the pay amount, and it created toxin in me. Like, shit, there ain't enough. I got work Uber on the weekend, so besides the work, like when I work there, like I like everybody is cool and everything. Like yeah, I work it, but then it's like every time I see the money, like I just want to leave and find something else. I think that's what's creating the toxin at the day job. Because I see the money, it looks low as hell. Yeah, but besides that, everything else is kind of neutral. Like I just do it. Like I'm not really passionate about it, but I just do it till the day's gone and I get to go home. But yeah, that's what create. I think that's the only thing I have for the toxin at the day job. Tinya number 4, Lima Echo India.
No, that's not toxin. Okay, what you're feeling is the lack of chi, because like your chi is getting low, so you're not motivated and you don't feel like walking faster. There's no hype. It's a lack of chi because you don't feel the worthiness. So the heart don't feels worthy, then it will stop pushing. But it's not toxin because it's a contract that you sign and it's like, yeah, I agree to, work this much hour for this much money, right? And you did get it, so it's not a failure. It's still okay. There's no toxin about it. It's just that your heart is like not motivated because the lack of chi. It's not pushing out that much chi. Your heart is telling you this job is like, kind of undermining you, kind of like that. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Tier number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Vignette number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Well, Sajan, from what you're saying, it makes me think of the Japanese work life. Like in Japan, they seem to have a lot of people who have either a career or just a day job, and it doesn't matter whatever walk of life you're in and job that you do, they just have a high suicide rate. People just jumping off this bridge, and it's about a particular forest where they go and they hang themselves. Forgive me for laughing, it's a bit comical in my mind, because you allow something like that to push you over the edge. But nevertheless, it made me think of that because they probably were investing too much of their hard juice into that place. And I think it's a cultural thing as well, because the culture kind of pushes them to be loyal to this job or whatever. Kind of comes across like a cult. From some of the documentaries I've been seeing, just the whole hyper fixation of the work life culture over there, and it's a way of sucking them dry of their own juice or God. And yeah, that just made me think of that. Back to you, Tiny at number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Okay. Yeah, that is good. We have to look at the time. It is actually 5:13. So I was like, oh shit, the time is running out. So I actually had have to change the topic. So yeah, that because we have a topic to cover, and it's kind of rushy. So let me get this to you guys, okay? This topic is about the ghost stuff. So going back to the ghost topic, right? Now you are here, and now you die. Okay, so you die, and then your body stop moving. Everything just gases out. So your soul, the yang soul, right, the positive soul, is like gassing out, and it's fly back up. So it went back to the Yunsan and wanted to come back down again to bring you the good stuff. And it's like it thought it was sleeping, and oh shit, it's not sleeping. There's no body. So what happened is your soul now float back up. So your soul at this point feels like you're asleep. You enter this blackness, right? Up to a point where your soul reaches the cloud level. Cloud, like you take airplane, there's like a whole bed of cloud, like that level. Okay, you went to that level. You will feel suddenly in the dream there's like a very bright light, and it's like fire. It feels like you enter a fire, and then a boom, and then very bright white. And if you are successfully going through that, then after the white light, you entered your ghost altar, which is in the outer space area. Now you have successfully become a ghost. And here, because you are getting into the ground zone, okay, we call this kind of ghost. It's kind of like you enter this place, and we'll call you a ghost immortal, because you basically is like going back into the mountain, which is like your own ghost altar. And here you'll stay and live a ghost life, age backward, and when you die, you will go up to the Yunsan. Okay, so let's say you are so unlucky, your ghost altar somehow has too much crap, and it bounces you away. Oh shit. Yeah, that's the old shit. Okay, so you have too much of that toxic stuff. Okay, and so the ghost altar push you back down. So while you're like going up, 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 you're reaching that cloud level, right? About to get to the like bright light, and boom, oh shit, now you fall back down. So because in D6 and D8, our property is very different. Anywhere in D8 that is air, like our air space, in there is like water. So what happened here is you drop back down and feel like yourself getting drowned in the ocean. And during this time, Okay, that cloud level with the fire is the D7. When you come back down, you're entering D8, right? That's our level. So in D8 is actually your water, your ocean. And so you start to sink as your negative soul chi, the yip and everything is like weight on you. It keeps sinking. And because of the nature of we want to float up, so you have a choice, right? You can, like after a while, you can go for like absorbing some of the chi that is around, and it will help you float up. And eventually, you will believe that if I eat enough of this stuff, I will float up and be able to go past the top, and I'll be somehow better than here. Right? It's like we're drowned, we want to escape. That kind of feeling. So if you're like here, we call you a swimming soul, a soul that is swimming around. And you don't even really swim. You're kind of like not moving for a while, just floating around, being driven by the current of our chi flow. So these are the 遊魂野鬼, the wild ghosts. Like you're in the wild, like in the ocean, swimming around. Now, some people ill, right? They're like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I want to die. Just let me die. So you don't eat anything, right? Then you're sinking. The more yippy you are, the more you sink down. And then now from the D8, right? If you go to the like low enough, like under our ground to where we have the ocean around that spot, and you go past that spot, then it feels like you have just escaped the whole water level. So now you're out of the D8 and you entered a whole new world. This is what we call the D9. You become the yum yip one, which is the negative yippy soul ghost, right? And in here, you will see a whole new world. It's like an empty space, like new world. And the top, you see flowing light. It's green with like green flowing light. Sometimes it's purple, blue, dark, like nighttime all the time. Everything is greenish, mostly. Sometimes it will be like full red, like very freaky. And then sometimes it becomes green again. So it becomes like that. Now here is the D9 world, 九幽. And here, people are pretty much happy they have found a new world. And finally, you can move freely and not float around. And here, the problem comes. People get very yippy. Right? You get super yippy and you get mutated. So instead of aging backward, in here, you will already start to lose your memory as you stay. And the property of D9 is that the dimension, the time inside here is very slow. It's kind of like you play a video 0.5x or 0.5x, like very slow. But to us, we look at them, it's like very fast. So if we look into D9, it's like we look outside the subway window. Everything gets like very, very fast. Right? And to them, it's like very slow. So the D9 people, the D9 beings, they have a very, very long life. Yeah, very long life. Yeah, but they don't feel that they're slow. It's just that their time goes very slow. So in their world, they might feel like they live like for us, they will live there for about like 100 years or so in our time. But to them, it will feel like 10,000 years. Yeah, it's like that long. So they're like never dying beings, kind of like that. So they mutate as they stay because of the yip, and they will start to get violent, physical, illing, and they chew on each other. Like it's like you enter a mental hospital and everyone is kind of like eating each other's, right? It's like that. because it's a wild, very crazy, wild world. And they become like very ugly because they want to scare off the enemy, right? So they turn into more and more physical and more violent and crazy beings there. And that is when you start to really change. From the Yum Yip one, you have successfully mutated into the D9 life. Now you are what we call a Maw. The Maw is like a demon, an angry, demonic kind of shit. Now, when it's end of your life in this place, you will also die. And when you die, you will most likely be transported to a place to continue. And that is the place below this D9. So what is below the D9? Now think about it. We have our ocean, and that ocean to the deep, deep, deep bed, like the rock, the bed of the ocean, right? That space is their D9 zone. So what's below? Our lava, right? Where we have our lava, our underground, right? The core. So that is their next station. And that to them is actually a water area. Yeah, it's like a water. It's like ocean for them. So they have this ocean, and the ocean, when you look into it, it's like the science CGI version of space with many stars inside, like glowing glitters. And this is like a water like that. So this water is where all the D9 being end up. Like when you die, throw you in here. And what's going on is the water makes they will like absorb you and grind you down, become like raw materials again. So it destroys you, and then eventually you're sunken down to the bottom, and then it push you out of the day law zone. And then the teen law, the power will suck you back up, and you'll be recycled by nature. That is the hell, the exit of the day law. And in some KJ, they have a name for this river or water they call Mong Chun. It means like for the stream of forgetting. Like you go here, you reset, you forget everything, you reset. Right? Once you pass by here and you drink the water, it's going to destroy you. You're going to forget everything and you restart. That's basically pretty much the metaphor. Okay. Now you're back to the T, and then you cycle back down and become a new thing. Right? So that is a cycle of life. If you are lucky enough, you don't have to go here. Well, you go back to D6, you become a ghost, you go back to the Yunsan, you can come back down to become a human in other worlds here. So you can still continue, right? So being able to go up allows you to have a next chance to come back down to those human, like alike world. Not this one, but maybe another one, but human alike world. You have a next chance. But if you are not going up, you can go down, going to D9 and so on. It's a lot of suffer and a lot of freaky, scary, destructive lifestyle going down. And then you become like having your own hell. So we say there's like the 6 ways of reincarnation for ordinary people. You can go up to Yunsan, become a god. You can go and be an immortal in the D6. You can become a human again. You can become a wandering soul, wandering ghost, right? You can become like a D9 being or the demonic thing, right? So like there's 6 paths, and this is what you get. So for us, we are not going any of this. Right? Because any of these, you end up pretty bad. So we're not going here. After we die, we are like directly up to the DLT, and that's it. We're skipping all these things. So that's why you want to cultivate being a Taoist. Okay, tier number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf. Tier number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf. Okay, tier number 2, Golf Alpha Papa.
Senior number 2, Golf Alpha Papa. Wow. So, so basically, this is just the way it is. This is a part of nature. It's we are just fortunate enough as Taoists, as Sam Law Taoists, to have an alternate to be able to bypass all that. Yet, even for those that, like, for normal people, eventually, like, getting recycled back through, even if they become more, they still will get recycled up to Dai La Tin. They just won't have the benefit of having of retaining their memories or who they were. They just kind of have to start all over. I mean, that's what I'm asking, I guess. And I get that would be my first question. And my second question would be, like, with the salvation scripture, with the ritual that we can, perhaps reach out to the deceased and see if they can ordain. Does that reach all the way down to that D9 realm, or is that just kind of like the ghosts that are like the wandering ghosts? Back to you.
Okay, yeah, that is how it is. And the lower you go, the more violent they get. That's basically how it is. The more ewing. So being human sucks. And go down there is much worse. Yeah, so for us, we are not going through any of that because it really sucks. So going back to DLT for us is like, yeah, that's the only thing I want. Okay, you're keeping everything, and you don't have to go through the suffer, right? If you're like being psycho back, you have to go through all the D9 and everything. It's so suffering. Why do you want that, right? So we don't want all that suffering. So yeah. For the salvation scripture, yeah, it does call down to the D9 as well. So it is powerful. And it does also work with the ghosts that actually went to the Yun Sun. So they also get a chance. If they can be reached, they will get a chance. There you go. Tier number 2, Gulf Echo India.
Vignette number 2, Gulf Echo India. That's just such a fascinating potential set of journeys, and I can see how a lot of the mythologies around the world of what happens to the soul or whatever after death kind of describe various places of getting stuck effectively. Like the JC concept of heaven pretty much stops at that cloud layer and the white light, and it's like, oh, then you reunite with God or something. They branches out a lot at that point, right? Yeah, so I'm just like I'm really entertained, I guess, by having a much larger picture of the way that journey goes. So, one of the things you said earlier is that it takes a lot of time to cultivate the kind of relationship with the entities of Samlat out of DLT that they want you there. So, is it even possible for someone who ordains uh, later in their life, say you have like a 70, 80-year-old person who wants to ordain, are they even going to have time to potentially go to DLT, or is it like they're simply going to have to go to the religious court first and spend that time working before they can potentially be accepted in? Back to you, Tina, number two, Gulf Echo India.
The answer is I don't know because there's no such cases, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But even if you enter the religious court, it's going to be a pretty good life compared to here. So it's going to like think about it. The religious court is kind of like what you say the JC's heaven. It's above the cloud, right? So you're seeing like a very much like a heaven place already. So it's better than being here or being down below. And yeah, you're kind of right with the, like the JC and other religion having their version. Yeah, a lot of them are telling you like partial of the puzzle, so it's not like a full picture. But I was lucky enough to be able to travel to the different places and take a look. So yeah, it's D9. D9 is freaky. You don't want to go there. Yeah, a lot of EGOT will go to D9 and find people to work. So it's like very mafia, like very scary. Tier number 4, Lima Echo India.
Opinion number 4, Lima Echo India. Yes, I was kind of wondering, the people that died that actually get to be ghosts and go in the ghost world, and or sometimes they go D9 and stuff, get all negative and stuff. Um, are those the type of people that has no religion at all? Like they don't believe in anything, and that's how they become like regular ghosts? Um, because like most of today's world, somebody like believe in something. They try and go up to some kind of heaven. Nobody's trying to, except for like maybe atheists, where they're like, oh, I don't believe in that and that. And are those the ones that make it to like just a regular ghosts? Also, like, what about the ghost that lives like they actually make it to the Yun Sun? Like, what is life like there? Like living in the Yun Sun, like so is it like till their Yun Sun explode and die or something, or and how do they like get back? Like I know like you go through all that and eventually you go into like you turn to nothingness and then and go back to the resource and then you get reborn again, but as like something else, like somebody else and DLT, so all that stuff is wiped out. So I imagine it's no longer you. It becomes so your consciousness is gone. So yeah, that's a pretty scary thought. But yeah, I was kind of wondering about those people. I know, like, if you have a religion, you go to the e-God plan, but regular ghosts, like, what of those that make it to the Yun Sun? Well, what happens next? Tinya number 4, Lima Echo India.
Okay. First of all, you have a religion doesn't mean that you will be picked up by the e-God. Okay, so it really depends. You can say, "Oh, you have a religion, you will go to there." Not all the time. Sometimes, like I have tried, uh, like helping someone to do those ghost stuff, and that person had have been through a funeral with religious stuff, and I can still call up the ghost. It's not like they're gone. So it's not exactly or absolute all the time like that. It really depends. But there's a big chance if like ye god do want you, they will pick you up and maybe send you somewhere to work. That is possible. So it's like, yeah, you want to go to this gangs, but you still need to make yourself like worthy, right? So that they see you're potentially useful. So if you're like a normal believer and you just like, oh, I just go to Sunday church and that's it, then maybe the God don't want you, right? Like they also pick. If you're like dying and your soul is so weak and you have no potential, why do they want you, right? So not all the time, okay? Sometimes you're like so shitty that God don't want you. Yeah. So just like here, right? You got to work your way and make yourself worthy. Right? So same to the ye gods. Now, if someone actually made it to the Yun San, they will become the god of their family. Okay, their family lineage. So in there, you live and forever, like forever at that mid-age, mature state. So you don't get old, you don't get young. You're always like mid-age, and the kind of like D6 because you can like make things and like out of thin air, and it's very, very much like D6 in a way. But at the same time, you have the ability to hear and see things from like far away, like as in this world. So you can suddenly be like seeing a video of what's going on in here with your family, or you can hear their words and things like that. These abilities, and if they make you not happy, you might be sending your curses over. So yeah, there are like situation where like these grannies, they passed away and they got to the Yunsan, and then they cursed the people below, and then like this person died, and suddenly like the next 3 generation is so bad luck. That can happen. Okay, so you can be the evil god, doing your revenge and stuff like that. But of course, you can still do your blessings if you want to. So yeah, you will be able to help the people down there if you want to as well. So up to a certain point, you will have a chance to like be reincarnated. So if you are up there and in the Yunsan like a god, right? You might have a time where like, oh, I get bored, I want to go down again, right? Then you will go down, and you will find another life to go into, and now you're like down there as a human again. So I mean this world, okay? It can be like other worlds. So anyway, you become a human again, and then the cycle continue, right? Eventually you get bored, and then you want to like go back down. Yeah. So the Yunsan life is not so bad, depending on how your Yunsan is like. So some Yunsan are pretty good. So some are pretty bad. And if you have like ancestors, sorry, not ancestors, you have like relatives doing worship for you, these people are more likely to get up to the Yunsan because of all the boost. You see, the positive soul chi is actually what floats your soul up. So most of the people who could not get to the D6 is because they don't have enough chi. But if the people that is like worshiping you after you die, they keep worshiping, they are contributing the chi. They give you food offering, burn MMs and everything, right? All those stuff have chi, and they become the fuel to push you up. So that's why a lot of the rich people, when they die, they really need like a big funeral, lots of offerings, burn so many things, right? Because they want all that to push them to the Yunsan. And a lot of the rulers, the emperors, and those kind of people, they care about the funeral and after death a lot because they need that chi to go up, right? So that's why. And a lot of them have actually went up and become a god, and they don't want to come back down. Like they want to be the god forever, right? So they became a god up there. And yeah, there you go. Tier number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Team Yet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Team Yet number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf.
Unit number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf. Yeah, I shrunk out earlier, and my Zello seemed to have gone silent for a while during that time. So I thought it must have been over or something like that. And then it just came back in again. So my new phone's yeah, it's just getting to know Zello. Yeah, this whole kind of cosmology of the Taoist, the lineage universe, or the way we understand it, is so fascinating. And I sounds like I missed out a bit of it. Yeah, so I'm not really sure what to say, but the details of it is so fascinating. The way that it seems to be really related to the Qi, the model that you were telling us at the beginning of the Yin Sun, then the Ghost Altar, and then the Heart, and then X. It sounds like it might actually relate to ghost behavior as well, in terms of afterlife being determined on that flow, the similar flow. But it's probably a bit different once you become a ghost. But the flow back to the Yin Sun, and whether you've got Qi to carry or to prop you up. So the main motivation of ghosts seems to be get their hands on some Qi, so they can get out of here or survive. So yeah, it seems to be Qi is the currency. It's the main source of everything everyone wants. It's like when you watch the KJs or the Dongua, like they always have these kind of like the currencies, like these magic power stones, like crystals kind of thing, and they're always trading and buying and selling stuff with these units of crystal that they get for their work or that they sell stuff for. It's kind of like that, but maybe that's a metaphor for the Qi, how much Qi you've got, because the more they cultivate, the more of them they seem to get. So yeah, maybe that's a direct parallel. Anyway, Team number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf.
Well, think about it. When you're buying more things in life, everything has the Qi and things inside. So when you die, all these things follow you, and the Qi goes with you and become like the pushing force that push you back up. So if you live a life with like nothing but a blanket, then you end up with nothing to push you back up, right? So it is important to get wealthy, buy more things, and then build up your resources, so that when you die, all these resources become the force that push you upward. And more important is your yang soul, your positive soul. So if you die and your positive soul is like super dead, like you're all sick, all the cancer and everything is very weak, then obviously when you die, is like there's not much to use. But if you die healthy, right, then it's okay. Like you sleep and then boom, you're done, right? You have a lot of that positive soul pushing you up. So it is important to be healthy, especially also physically as well. Okay, it is already Super OT 546. We'll end the net here. 73 to all, and we'll see you back online and the net tonight. This is TNet number 9. Yankee Uniform Echo is clear.
Team number 2, Golf Alpha Papa, clear.
Team Yet number 4, Lima Echo India, clear.